I said the Ravens would probably go win the Super Bowl. And the more I think about it, the more I think it's possibly going to happen. I know T. Higgins said his prediction is the Ravens, and listen, they're the best team in the league. Been the best team in the league the whole entire season. Not really much else to be said. I mean, they went 14-4 or 13-4 for a reason, and they dominated. They dominated the Texans. This should not have been 34-10. The real score of this game was 34-3. That really was the real score. The Texans had a crazy punt return for 62 yards after the Ravens punter punted the ball 27 yards, and then the Texans went ahead and returned it for 6. Now, here's the thing, right? Can I give the Ravens full credit here? They're going to beat the Chiefs next weekend. Now, of course, as if the Bills lose, but I think the Bills will lose to the Chiefs, and I think the Chiefs will play the Ravens in the championship. And, Baltimore, okay, I don't like you guys. I don't like you guys at all. But here's what I will say about this, right? Last year, we should have beat the Chiefs and sent their ass home in the championship. And now you guys have an opportunity to do so. But you have to remember one key thing, Baltimore. Kansas City never plays alone. They play with some zebras. And those zebras, well, they're magical. So just keep that in mind. Keep your expectations at a minimum. Because everything you do, the zebras are going to counter what you do. That's how it works. But let's talk about this game. So overall wise, I mean, the Ravens defense, I know we talked about how good the Browns defense was and how the Browns defense was just so dominant and so amazing. And, seemed like the best defense of all time. They get to the playoffs, absolutely choke up a storm versus the Texans. And you got to give the Texans credit here, honestly. You go against what was considered the best defense, the second best defense in the regular season in Cleveland. Then you go to Baltimore to play what was the best defense in, the regular season. And you find out one thing. The Ravens aren't frauds about it. The Ravens are legitimate, a top 5 defense, period. And throughout this game, the Ravens really mixed, I will say, the run game of Lamar Jackson and the pass game of Lamar Jackson. Lamar wasn't perfect tonight. If you look at his passing, 16 for 22, 152 yards and 2 touchdowns. One of them was to Isaiah Likely, where it was actually an amazing play. And this is one thing, if you're Baltimore, you're going to lose your coordinators after this season, your offense and defensive coordinator, which is definitely going to hurt you. That's not going to be easy. Trust me. We don't know because we almost did, but we didn't lose our guys. But a lot of teams have, and it definitely takes your team a step back, right? It steps your team a little bit back. But in this game, you had so many amazing plays. 4th and 1, they fake it to Patrick Ricard, fake it to Gus Bus, Lamar Jackson runs it for 15 yards. It's just a combination of everything. And that's what I've said about this team this whole entire year. Their defense clearly are not frauds. They can get the job done. And their offense can also, with the great play calling, get the job done. And even if Lamar is not perfect in his passing, and he played a pretty damn good game. He wasn't perfect. Pretty damn good game. He can also get it in the run game. 2 touchdowns on the ground, 2 touchdowns through the air. He's making the case why he's the MVP. And, you got to give credit where credit is due here tonight. Lamar kicked the Houston Texans' ass. And, again, every single week, it's anyone's game. And I say that because I'm going to tell you right now, Baltimore, we kicked the Bills' ass last year in the playoffs. But when we went to KC and played the Queefs, it's a different show, man. It's a different show. And even if you do play Buffalo, because I really don't think Buffalo will beat the Chiefs. I really don't think they will. But let's say you do, hypothetically speaking, beat Buffalo, right? The reason why I don't think the Chiefs will lose, Buffalo will win that game, is because it's in Buffalo, and if it snows again in Buffalo, then the Bills can't play in the snow. And we saw that even in that Steelers game, they won in the snow, but they barely squeaked it out in the end. They almost choked it away and let the Steelers come back and win. So it was very close to it being that, the Buffalo Bills lost yet again in the snow. So that's the only reason why I think the Chiefs are going to win. Because the Chiefs can play in the snow and the bad weather, and they can play in every condition possible. They are literally the cockroach infestation in your house. Every time you think they're gone, they're never gone. And they always come back. And they survive everything. Okay? And spitting, for Christ's sake. They survive everything. So, please, Baltimore. Send their ass home. Send Patrick home. And in all honesty, though, if they do get past the Chiefs, which I think they can beat the Chiefs. I think they can. I think they can go to the Super Bowl. And I don't think there's any team in the NFC right now who's going to be able to stop this Ravens squad. You have the Lions, who got blown out by the Ravens last time they played them. You got the 49ers, who got blown out by the Ravens last time they played them. You got, who else? The Packers, who didn't play the Ravens this year, but I really would, with Barry's defense, I don't think that we're going to see much of anything when it comes to the Ravens being able to do anything, especially because with Joe Barry's defense, I don't think he's going to do anything versus this Ravens offense, and I think this Ravens offense might put up 70 points. And on the other side, Aaron Jones, which is the big thing with the Packers, is they run the ball, they pass the ball. I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball against this Ravens defensive line. Tonight we saw, look at the Texans' numbers. They tried. They kept to the run tonight, and 9 rushes, 22 yards. 2.4 yards per carry. Yeah. Every run, it felt like they were getting 0 yards. And they got one 15-yard run, which worked out in the end. But who else is in the playoffs? The Lions. Yeah, they got blown out last time. So, again, there's no one in the playoffs right now. I guess the Buccaneers didn't play the Ravens. And maybe the Buccaneers could be the counter in all this. Because I know if you saw the NFL script, as they would say, I know they have the picture of the colors of the NFL logos. And it actually, the Super Bowl logo shows purple and red, right? So purple would be the Ravens, right? Obviously. Red, we all thought was going to be the 49ers. Maybe it's Baker Mayfield. Maybe it's the Buccaneers. Maybe that's the red team that makes the playoffs and plays Baltimore. And I'll say one thing. Ravens have never lost a Super Bowl. They're 2-0. And if they lose to Baker Mayfield, the ex-Cleveland Brownies quarterback, that would be kind of embarrassing. Not really even kind of. That would be embarrassing. Don't get me wrong. The Bucs are a great team. They beat the Eagles, who were frauds. But the Bucs are a great team. I just still say, bro, you can't lose. You can't lose to the Buccaneers. If Ravens go to the Super Bowl, they got to win it. They really do. But, I'll give you props, Baltimore. You are the only team in the AFC North who is keeping this division from looking like absolute freaking frauds. You're the only team in this division. Because we didn't make it, right? Obviously, we had a quarterback problem. Joe went down. If Joe didn't go down, I think we would be in the playoffs right now. And we potentially would have played you. So, it is what it is. But everyone else in our division, one and dones. If we had Joe, we probably would have been maybe championship with you guys. So, it is what it is. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I know I was being very nice to the Ratbirds today. But it's because, listen, we're out of the playoffs, and I'm not going to sit here and stir up crap for no reason at this point. As long as they beat the Queefs, I'm okay with it. You can go to the Super Bowl and lose. I just think they're the best team. Sadly. Peace out.